The Moral Monday protest got underway just moments ago in Asheville. News 13's Evan Donovan is live from Pack Square.
Evan, how does the turnout look this year compared to last year?
Well, it's actually increasing quite a bit. About 10,000 people were here for last year's Mountain Moral Monday protest. And just in the past 10 minutes since the event started, it's gotten a lot bigger here in Pack Square Park. I want to pan over so you can show you some of what's going on here. Quite a party atmosphere here. There's a lot of music playing. People are very excited to be here, but they're obviously here for very serious reasons. You can see from a lot of the signs here, most of the people are protesting the Republican-led legislature and the bills that they've enacted within the past 2 years. This Moral Monday protest started in Raleigh last year, obviously, and it had a lot of effect. Many people coming out and being arrested in the state legislature, and last year's Mountain Moral Monday protest here in Pack Square Park again brought 10,000 people, and was a lot of activists brought their own causes here. We've seen some of that here today, actually, with some people talking about what they're protesting and using this as a jumping off point for their own advocacy groups. Part of what we've seen is voter registration, and that's one of the big critiques of this event from people on the right, is that this is no longer about Moral Mondays, it's no longer a bipartisan effort, that it's really just a way to mobilize the Democratic base and get people to register to vote. We've seen these voter registration forms at a number of tables throughout here, as well as people on the stage encouraging people to come out and vote. That's one of the things that Republican legislator Nathan Ramsey told us just a few minutes ago earlier today about these Mountain Moral Mondays.
This really isn't about trying to make their voice heard to the legislators and other things. It's really a campaign tool, and it's been recognized as a campaign tool. They're just trying to make folks angry.
And making folks angry, particularly in the Democratic base, less than 100 days from our next state election. It remains to be seen whether or not that's a good strategy. Coming up a little bit later, we're going to talk to some of these protesters about exactly what motivates them and what brings them out here today. For now, reporting live in downtown Asheville, I'm Evan Donovan for News 13.
Thousands of people are gathered in downtown Asheville this afternoon.
This is the second Mountain Moral Monday protest held in Asheville, and it's happening right now. News 13's Evan Donovan is live. And Evan, what is the mood of the attendees there?
Well, it's quite festive right now. I mean, I'm sure you can hear there's lots of music going on behind me. We've had some poetry readings, as well as a number of speakers, all of whom are talking about issues that have been, or bills that have been passed by the Republican-led state legislature in the past 2 years, which is really the genesis of what these Moral Monday protests were about. They started in April of last year in the state capitol, and they've expanded throughout the state as well as into even Georgia and South Carolina. This is the second Mountain Moral Monday protest. I want to pan over so you can see how many people have really packed into this park here. Really hundreds, thousands in just the past 30 minutes since we talked to you last, and all of them very passionate about a number of different issues, ranging from Medicaid expansion to education, teacher pay, the freedom to marry for all people. There's really a lot going on here, and people who are here say that they are bipartisan. We've met Republicans and Democrats. We've also met people who are just activists for their own advocacy groups, trying to get the word out about nuclear nonproliferation or veterans issues, so using this as a jumping off point. But one of the big critiques about these Moral Mondays is that it's not really about being bipartisan or about morality in any way. Republicans like State Senator Tom Apodaca that we spoke to earlier said, really, this is just a recruitment event. He said, quote, Moral Mondays are nothing more than a Democratic Party campaign event. The Reverend William Barber has become the face of the Democratic Party in North Carolina. Well, we are going to hear from the Reverend Dr. William Barber coming up here in a few minutes on the stage right behind me, and obviously that will energize people. He is one of the most polarizing figures, but also one of the most beloved figures, depending on which side you're on in North Carolina politics. We'll have more for you coming up, including talking to some of the people who are here and why they're protesting. But for now, reporting live from Pack Square Park in downtown Asheville, I'm Evan Donovan for News 13.
A protest and a call to action as Moral Monday returns to the mountains.
Thousands of people are gathered in Pack Square in downtown Asheville this evening to protest the actions of the Republican-led legislature.
News 13's Evan Donovan is live for us at the rally. Evan, how does the crowd compare to Moral Monday last year?
Most of them are bipartisan.
Well, no official count yet, guys. Not quite sure exactly how many people are here. Police are saying a minimum of 2,000, but that was from about 30 minutes ago. I think people are waiting until the crowds get here after getting off work to get an official count. But I want to pan over so that you can see, first of all, Dr. Reverend William Barber, the founder of Moral Mondays, who started this last year in the state capitol, is speaking right now. And as you can tell, the crowd is captivated. Rousing rounds of applause every time he talks about any of the issues that have brought people out to Pack Square Park today. And that could be a number of things. If we pan over to the crowd, you'll see signs talking about everything from fracking to Medicaid expansion to the freedom to marry. We've also seen people who are out here talking about veterans issues. It's really quite a bipartisan crowd, and at least a varied crowd. Bipartisanship is what this was founded on, according to the Dr. Reverend William Barber. But that's not exactly true according to people who are on the right. They say that this has become nothing more than a recruiting tool for Democrats. You know, we're only 100 days out from the election in November, and there are voter registration tables everywhere here. So while the Reverend says that this is more about a bipartisan effort to be moral, Republicans on the right disagree. I do want to get you back to let you know that there was one of the people that we talked to here said that he believes it's definitely a bipartisan issue.
Most of them are bipartisan, I think, because what the General Assembly and the governor have been doing is hurting the middle class and hurting working people.
Coming up tonight at 10 and 11, we'll have much more from this protest. News 13's Frank Crocker is here, and he'll tell you why the effects of today may not be felt until that election day in November. For now, reporting live from Pack Square Park in downtown Asheville, I'm Evan Donovan for News 13.
Well, Buncombe County Republican State Representative Nathan Ramsey says he welcomes the right of all people in North Carolina to voice their opinion. But he says the protesters refuse to look at the positives.
They're trying to focus people's attention and trying to get them angry. And are we where we ought to be? Absolutely not. But, you know, we're trying to raise teacher pay, trying to make our state more competitive for business. Unemployment rate's gone down for about 40%. More people have jobs in North Carolina. And so you never hear nothing about that.
Ramsey says he believes the rallies have become more of a campaign tool than a protest against policies.